From a CEO's standpoint, how did you balance both financial and emotional strength between an esports organization? That's a great question. I always sided with what I thought was the right thing to do, but I don't necessarily encourage that to run a successful organization. The conclusion in this? The conclusion thus far is it comes down to, I think, this, which is you're kind of on two sides of the fence here. Okay. Either you agree FaZe had a right to hold Tfue to contract because in their view, they built Tfue. Aphotic, thanks, man. Appreciate that, dude. They built Tfue's brand significantly, and they felt it would be, oh, he did it. He did it. He came through. You're a man of your word. You made your decision. I appreciate that. That's a good thing, man. You make a decision, and then you live with it. I appreciate you. Good stuff. I think at the end of the day, you agree that FaZe had the right to hold Tfue to contract because in their view, they built Tfue's brand, and they felt it would be right if they saw the whole contract through because of that. And acknowledging that it was well within FaZe's right to hold him to contract legally. Or you agree with me, which is you agree that despite FaZe having the right to hold Tfue to contract, they probably should have released him, given that he was under a FaZe self-admitted bad contract, wanted out, and achieved unprecedented success. Oh, hey, thanks for the 5. And was signed to the contract on questionable terms. Family narrative versus business. And based on this, it would have been right, it would have been ethically sound for FaZe to release Tfue, even though it wasn't financially the best decision. That is my final position as of now. From a CEO's standpoint, how did you balance both financial and emotional strength between an esports organization? That's a great question. I always sided with what I thought was the right thing to do, but I don't necessarily encourage that to run a successful organization. So that's where you stand, I think. You stand on one of these issues. Either you say, okay, FaZe had the right to hold him the contract, and it was well within his right. Tfue signed that contract. He knew he was doing it. That's on him. Or you say, well, despite that fact, FaZe probably should have released him because he wanted out, and it was a bad written contract. There were bad terms in it. And, for whatever other reasons. And, he was like, although it wouldn't have been the best financial decision, it would have been the most ethically sound one. Just kind of depends on like what your position is at this point. I'm okay with people thinking either position because I think that what we've done is we've illustrated the issue in a clear enough way that it's understandable. And then you can make your own decision. And if that's the case, then I have succeeded in my mission. Do you think that Banks should be bought out? I think that Banks shouldn't be a C-level executive within FaZe. I'm totally okay with him being in FaZe. He shouldn't have any decision-making power or executive power. Think about all the people under that contract before Tfue and still in that contract or contracts like that. Yeah, or any other organizations that is the case. Is there any situation in any universe where Tfue stays with FaZe? It's theoretically possible, I guess. I mean, I ran the timelines in my head and I can't find one. That'd be a very weird timeline. I think I have taken this issue as far as I needed to go today. And we've made a hell of a lot of progress on this issue. And I hope that it has been made a little bit more clear than it was before.